So, got my rag hem. Just hang this on the 42 stitches. I have not posted the pattern yet on my blog, but I will before I finish the little sweater. Okay, so I've extended 42 stitches, and I'm rehanging or hanging the rag hem. Now, this is one I made previously in a previous video, where if you've just got the rods, you can slip them in through here. But I now have claw weights, and I like them a lot better. Now, I'm not going to film a lot of the front, because the front is the same as the back until you get to where the neck starts. So once I get this started, I'll be back at that point, because they're the same. Excuse me. And I've got my ravel cord, which I use crochet cotton size 10 for the ravel cord. And I knit the first row with ravel cord, then I change to my main yarn. It's because I'm going to put the hem on later on when I'm finished. And if you don't want to, just start with the hem, with the pattern, and when you get to the end of the hem, just instead of casting off, you just go back and follow the directions for the pattern, for the back or the front. Okay, push these all back, and again I am using key plate 3.5. I've got my ravel cord here, and let me get it on, and I will stop in a little bit. I've got it set up to put the ravel cord in, and I've got some extended needles here, so I wanted to fix that before I got too far carried along. And I'm going to knit one row, excuse me, using the ravel cord. For some reason, oh, I feel something. Jam somewhere. So I'll just bring the needles this side of the latches and then run the row again. And if it didn't work this trip, I would do this by hand. Always a way around things. You may not be aware of them at the moment, but there's always ways around things. And I'm just wrapping it around my cord so it'll have something to hang on to as I slowly knit across. Okay, and I've got it on that, one of those bobbins from embroidery thread. So I am just latching them into little notches. Okay, now I'll bring my carriage over. I still don't have my row counter, which me check something. I think I might have. I have a box here. I do. Yep. So set the row counter to 0. Okay, and set it in the center so it catches the thread. Alright. And I'm going to use my yellow, and I am going to knit, let's see, 2 rows, and I'm going to do decrease at each end. Okay. That's 1, and I probably need to move my weights up, but it never seems to like my first row. Excuse me while I stitch these. And I'm going to move these up to right below the ravel cord row. See, none of these here on the end stitch, so I'm just going to manually stitch them. Try to maintain the same size stitch for the rest of your work. Okay. I just wrap it around my claw weight. Okay, there's 1 row. And 2 rows. Okay, now I need to decrease. What is it I gotta decrease? 1 stitch at each end. And I like doing the second stitch in, so I move that over 1. And this is on each end. Like I said, this is just like the back up to the neck portion. Okay, and move this one over. And now you want to knit until row 12. Okay, so that is 2, 3, 4. Always watch this end stitch. It doesn't always like to knit. This one caught. When that happens, just move your weights up. That's why I like the claw weights versus the one that comes with it. 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, something's not lining up. Looks like everything's okay. My green bar lifted up a little bit. Hello? And 12. Okay, and now we want to decrease 1 stitch each end, just like before. And this is if you're doing an adult size, you will obviously do more decreases and more rows. Okay, and now go to 15. Okay, and now we want to increase at each end. The way I increase, I move 1 stitch over, and then I take the cross beam or the top of the stitch in the row below and bring that up. Okay, I move this one over, and the stitch from below I move up. Okay, and now I am going to knit straight until row 40, and I will be back. And then I'll do an increase, and then I'll knit until I get to the armhole, which is at 51. So I'll meet you back at 51. Okay, I'm at the neck edge, not row, and it says cast off center 8 with 14 stitches on each side. Okay, so 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 14 stitches. Okay, so these stop and think. Okay, so bring these forward. I'll come back for those in a little bit. There is 1. Now I need to cast off 8 stitches here. So I'm going to move the carriage out of the way and cast off 8 stitches. So I knit the 2, bring it back. If you have any background noise, I apologize. Okay. Okay, and I want to make sure I cast off 8, and then I'll knit the next row. There's 3 off the okay. Okay, and 3, I got 4, so I got 4 more to go. Sorry about the fan in the background. Okay, so that's 2, 4, 6, 7. Okay. And I think that is my 8th. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It is. Okay, now I'm back to my directions. And I knit a row. Okay. And I got it tangled. You don't want to tangle it. Okay, there's my 74th row. And now we're going to decrease 1 stitch at the neck edge. This is my neck edge. Okay, so we're going to do that up until row 77. Okay, so we decrease. Okay. And row. And decrease, and I'm decreasing the second stitch in. Okay, till I get 77. So one more decrease after this. Okay, and this will be the last decrease on this side, I think. We will verify prior to stitching it up. Yes. Okay, and now we're going to knit straight until 86, row 86. So 78, 79, 80, 81, and I have a stubborn stitch here as always, my end or the beginning, so just move your claw weight up. See how that's bubbling? I want another weight on there. Okay. There we go. And I need 86. So I've got to do the decrease. Remember you're decreasing. Oops, I have a split stitch here. Oops, my bad. You were supposed to be knitting straight. So you always check your pattern. Okay, so 84, 85, and 86. I'm supposed to cast off 10 stitches at the beginning. So 1, 2. Since this particular one is for a child, I want my shoulder seam stronger. But if you wanted to graft it or crochet it together, you certainly could. But remember, the shoulder takes a lot of wear and tear. So I'll have 4 left. And I think I ripped the last couple of lines, so I'm just going to cast off. And then I'm going to repeat what I just did, but reverse the directions. Now I am not planning on, taping that portion, so I will be back with the sleeves. And before I start the sleeves, I will show you the back that we've got completed and the front. And I'm going to seam the shoulder seams together. And I'm just going to do an overhand stitch, you know, like a whip stitch, or I might just crochet it together. I haven't, slip stitch wise, I have not decided yet. That, can leave it up to yourself. Now if you're doing an adult, you could just graph it together. But again, it takes a lot of wear and tear in your shoulders, so keep that in mind as you decide what you want to do. Okay, and I'm just casting off all of them rather than just 10. At this point, I do want to take my weights off. Okay. And now I can take my scissors and snip it. I want to leave a healthy end, tail. And there she is. Now I'll be back when I get ready for the sleeve.